ground down for a moment. Take a few deep breaths, closing your eyes. Gently breathing into the nose and breathing out. And take one hand onto your belly, one hand onto your chest. Breathing, checking in how you're feeling today. Connecting to your inner self. And then slowly open your eyes, take your hands to the side and come onto all fours. Bring your hands directly underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and instead of dropping into your shoulder joints, just engage the arms a little bit. Squeeze the upper arms in towards your armpits. Draw the navel slightly in and the ribs towards your spine. So in this way you're active, even though very relaxed and soft. And we do a few cat-cow tilts here. So with the inhalation, you just ripple away through the spine, look forward and inhale, and exhale. Draw the navel towards the spine, look towards your navel, push into the hands, stretching out the upper body. Inhale, just flossing the spine here a little bit, and exhale. Do a few more of those. Shining your heart on an inhalation and drawing the navel in, pushing into the back of the heart on your exhalation. And slowly awakening the core. Exhale. And then begin to roll. So roll your hips from side to side. Gently massaging lower back, hip joints. Just gently. Beautiful. And then if you like, you can also, undulate and spiral your rib cage a little bit, pressing into your hands. And discover any tightness, maybe rest in those for a little while, massaging yourself from the inside out. Beautiful. And very slowly now, come onto your forearms. Take the hands around the forearms, so you grab the outside of your elbows, and then bring your hands together. Now slowly walk with your knees back. And tilt your pelvis so that the tailbone moves towards the heels. Beautiful. And you already feel a little engagement here, and we slowly building up core strength. If you like to go a little bit further, you can also extend the legs all the way. Very important is that you're not sinking in your lower back. So you want to keep this engagement. Lower abdomen draw up and in, navel draws in, lower ribs drawing. Good. Let me stay here for a few more breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Pushing out through the elbows, soft gaze. And slowly bring your knees down, then your hips down. Take the hands in line with your elbows and the elbows in line with your shoulders. Now press the hands into the mat, press the tops of the feet into the mat, and look towards your navel. And in this way you activate the core again and stay here with this engagement and bring the hips back down, lifting the chest up and move forward. Pressing the hands into the mat and imagine you would draw yourself forward. Good. And release. Bring the hands back together. Tuck the toes under. Come onto your knees again. Look towards your navel. And let the pubic bone move towards your navel here. And again, you either stay here, working on core strength, and with time you will build up. Or you extend the legs, staying here. And if you like to join me, you can now shift your weight onto the outside of your right foot, lifting the hips up, tilting the pelvis so the tailbone moves towards the heels. And slowly to the other side, very gently. Lift the hips up, excellent. And staying here for a moment. Shift the weight again to the right and to the left. And slowly coming down with the hips again, extending the fingertips to the front of the mat. Look towards your navel, tilt the pelvis, lift the lower pelvic floor up as you would draw it up and in. You just want to protect the lower back here and encourage a deep core alignment, which helps you to move safely and strongly through your practice. Now draw the hands into the mat, push the tops of the feet into the mat, and move your heart forward as you would want to shine your heart to the world. The neck is long. And exhale, release. Now come back onto all fours. So tuck the toes under, over the knees, drawing the navel in, and move the knees further in. Good. We just move into a child's pose here. Bring the hips back towards your heels and your head down to the floor. If that's too deep for you, you can always take the hands on top of one another, the fists, and rest your forehead on your hands. Otherwise, take the hands now behind you and drop your head. Take 2 long, deep breaths. Then look up. Inhale, come back onto all fours. Align your hands so that the fingertips point forward, drawing lower abdomen and lower ribs in. So you learn from the beginning on to slightly and gently always be active in your core. Now, take your right foot forward between your hands and move the left knee slightly back. Excellent. Make sure here that the front knee is always in line with your ankle, so you protect the knee joint here. You don't want to move over the ankle. You also don't want to tilt the knee to the left or the right. So always a nice stable knee. And ensure that the left knee moves back. And that goes further and further with hip flexibility. But don't stay with your knee like this. So you want to move as far as it's possible for you. Beautiful. Now take your hands onto your knee again. Scan into your center first. So from your center, you draw into your feet, lifting the abdomen up and in, and have your hands on your knee. Move the left hip here forward, right hip back, and inhale, take your arms up if it's comfortable for you. Now, if you like, you can now take your hands behind you, draw the neck long, and then look up towards the sky. Take a few breaths into your heart, filling the lungs with oxygen, rejuvenating prana. And exhale, release the hands, navel draws in again, tuck the toes under, and then step into a half plank, or if you like, into a full plank. If it happens that you have wrist problems and it strains you too much to be on your hands, you can come always on your fists. Good. Then we stay here for a few breaths. Navel draws in, tailbone points towards your heels. And slowly bring the knees down, bend the elbows, and then come onto your belly again. Take your hands behind you, and then think about you do the cat pose and look towards your navel, even though that's not really possible. But I just want to encourage you to engage the core here again. Now extend your spine with an inhalation and lift your feet off the floor. This is Shalabhasana, the locust pose. Have a little bend in the elbows so you can open the collarbones a little bit more. And then look forward, close your eyes and bring your gaze up to your third eye. Again, focusing on a long deep breath. Strengthening the back muscles here. Good, and very slowly lower down. Take your hands next to your shoulders. Navel draws in again. You're always leading with the core. Shoulders back, and then come back onto all fours. And step forward with your left foot. So left foot comes forward, knee in line with the ankle, and the knee is in line with your toes as well. Always ensuring that will also help you in the standing postures later on to have everything Now draw the inner thighs together. Bring your hands onto your knee, and if you feel anything in your lower back, just come out of the pose a little bit, align your pelvis, lengthen the tailbone, and sink in again. Beautiful. You can either stay here and find your stable posture, or you inhale, take your hands up, bend the elbows, and then lean back. Just opening the chest here a little bit and finding length in your upper back. So rather than sinking in your lower back, think about you have a stable pelvis, stable abdomen, and lean with your upper back over a big Swiss ball. And exhale. Bring the hands down, tuck the toes under, come into plank or half plank. Staying here or on your knees, your choice. You can now roll onto the outside of your right feet. And if you're on your knees, then stay here for a moment. And you just roll onto the outside, bring the left hand onto your hip, and take your right knee behind you. If you do the full version, tilt over to the right, lift the hips nicely up. That helps you to, again, engage your core. Take one hand onto the hip, or you extend the top arm up. Either or, in whichever pose you are, now take the palm facing down, and then lift the hips a little bit higher, arching the side of your body. And if you're okay with your neck, you can look up. Otherwise, just look to the side, or you can look down to the mat. And slowly lift the arms, circle it down. Now we come again with the knees down onto our belly. Take the hands nicely next to your chest. Look down towards your navel, engage the core. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Press the hips into the mat, and then with the inhalation, fill the lungs. And you don't need to press much into your hands. We want to gently build up. So rather than pushing your hands into the mat and letting the shoulders drop, draw to the ears, just let them drop and take the hands off the mat. Feet are on the mat. That's it. Good. And exhale, release. Tuck the toes under again. Come onto all fours, and we move either again into a full plank, or you come full plank, or you come into a half plank. So extend the legs, or be with the knees on the floor, and then shift your weight onto the left side, bringing the left knee behind you. Extend the top arm, or if you're in full plank, you just lean with the heels over, so one foot, the right foot is in front of the other. That gives you a little bit more stabilization, and lift the hips up to the floor. Good. Here, move the hips up more than you think. That will help you later on in the more advanced postures. Moving the pubic bone forward, and if you look forward, try to see that your hips are not moving back, and rather the front of your body is one long line. Good, and then move your top arm over your head, lift the hips a little bit higher, breathing into the right side of your lung. And inhale, arms comes up, stable core, navel to spine, come into plank. And then from here, take the knees down, and we lower down again onto the belly. Now extend the arms to the front, and imagine you would be swimming. So with the inhalation, turn the palms out, lift the legs. Good, and then fluidly exhale. Draw the hands together. Inhale, open, and exhale. In, exhale. Inhale, long deep breath through the nose. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, in, exhale, inhale, and exhale. One more inhale, now hold, long deep breath. Draw the shoulder blades towards your heart and lift your heart up. You can have the feet here together, or a little bit apart, but not more than hip width distance. Long, deep breath. Soft gaze. And if you like, you can close your eyes and bring your inner gaze to your third eye. Exhale, release, and we come into child's pose. So your knees are together and we're slowly rolling back. Drop the head down, take the hands behind you. Wiggle your hips a little bit from side to side. Beautiful. And then slowly coming up. Now come onto your toes and have a nice wide stance, as wide as your mat is. Take the toes out to the side. We come into a squat. So you drop the tailbone down, lift the chest up, press the hands into the inner legs, and then just stay here. If you have knee problems and that causes you trouble, then just come up to a standing position, bend the knees, take the hands to the knees, and just hang out here for a moment. Or you can even lower the hips a little bit and lift the arms up to strengthen the knees and the legs. If you're in your squat, you just stay here for another few breaths. And then we slowly lower down. Beautiful. Good. Now, come onto your back. Slowly lowering down onto over the forearms. Knees are bent. And now we do a few little back bends, and that's the bridge waves. So the feet are under your knees and quite close to your hips and hip width distance apart. With the exhalation, again, lift abdomen up, so that helps you to engage the core a little bit, and keep this engagement. With the inhalation, take your arms up, lift the hips so that the tailbone moves towards the backs of the knees. Chin is up, so you maintain the natural curve of your neck, and exhale, roll down. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, rolling down vertebra by vertebra. Inhale up. Now stay with the hips where they are, just bring the hands back. Maybe you can lift the hips a little bit higher, and you can shimmy the shoulders a tiny bit underneath your body. Long, deep breath. Chin is up. And slowly lower down. Beautiful. Now hug the knees into your chest. Well done. Roll a little bit from side to side, massaging the lower back. Good. Now squeeze the right knee into your chest, extending the left. Change sides. Bring both knees into your chest. Right hand, right kneecap, left hand, left kneecap. And just draw the knees away from one another and back together. It's really nice hip opening. Circles. Preparing for an easeful walking. Nice healthy lower back. Beautiful. Now take your feet onto the mat. Have the feet mat width distance apart. Extend the arms out to the side. And then drop your knees to the left. And look over to your right shoulder. Breathing into the left side of your body. Just a very gentle twist here. Also stretching the top of the right thigh, which is really nice. And then draw the shoulders a little bit away from your ears again. So you always want to find length and space in every posture. And take the knees back to center and drop them to the other side. Beautiful. Look over to the left. And come back to center. Now, take the hands to the side. Feet are met with distance apart and let your knees fall to the center. So this is really nice if you feel like your lower back is a little bit sensitive while you're lying on the back. And you can stay here for the deep relaxation and just hanging out here or taking your hands on your chest or your belly. Or you can also do the full relaxation pose, have the feet met with distance apart, palms facing up, draw the shoulders slightly under. And think about, someone gently presses your shoulders down, draws your hips down into the floor. And then just take a deep breath into the nose. And exhale out through the mouth, relax. Do that 3 more times. And stay here for a few minutes. Letting the practice settle in. And after you've stayed here for 2, 3 to 5 minutes, slowly begin to awaken your body, moving fingers and toes, breathing into the space of your body. And take your legs back towards your chest. And roll over to your right side. Take your right arm as a pillow. Stay here for a few breaths, enjoying the effect of the practice. And when you're ready, press your hands into the mat, come to a seated position. And take your hands to your chest. And take a few breaths just to, again, absorb the practice. Just focus on your breaths for a few moments here. Getting back into the present moment. And then gently bow your head to your heart and to the floor to see the practice. Namaste.